Hey Scorpio, I'm Daniel Red Wolf, also known as Dan, and welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to be back. This is your general forecast for June 2023. For those of you who are new to my channel, like I said, I'm Daniel Red Wolf. I'm an indigenous shamanic practitioner that does a lot of shamanic coaching and healing. I've also been privileged to sit in a bunch of ceremonies, lead ceremonies, and I actually had my channel back in like 2016. I think that's when I started, and I was known as Psychic Medium Dan. So definitely have evolved, stepped into more of my shamanic role as a teacher, and again, working one-on-one with people. So those of you who have been with me and stayed subscribed, even though I walked away, welcome back. I'm excited to be here. As a welcome back gift, I'm doing a 50% offer. So go to my website, bodysoulspirit.co. That's Colibrí, Spiritual Wellness Collective. And you can go ahead and click on my profile and go ahead and get a session one-on-one with me. The link is actually below. The promo code is below. So I would love to connect with you. And these are general readings, so they may not resonate with everybody. Take whatever resonates with you, and I always say leave the rest of it on the back burner. Whatever doesn't resonate with you, it might not resonate with you now. However, it's going to resonate with you later. And like, holy shit, I burned sage, and this is intense. It's still not going out. So that probably just means that for Scorpios, there's a lot of cleansing that's going to happen during the month of June. So for those of you who are new or returning, it's going to be 8 cards, and then I'm going to go ahead and get some clarification cards, and then final message from our ancestors. So let's start. So 4 of Swords. So a lot of you guys are stepping out of hibernation for that one for sure. Then we have the King of Pentacles right here, the 8 of Wands, the World card, and let's see, the 6 of Pentacles, the Moon, the Devil card, and then the High Priestess. So right off the bat, the first thing that I'm seeing is a lot of you are going to definitely experience a transformational month. And I'm saying that because I'm seeing the World card. Whenever I see the World card, that means that and also you have the Moon card. So that means that stuff is aligning astrologically for you. So for Scorpios, whatever is happening in your astrological chart is going to definitely have an impact during the month of June all the way up to the end of this year. So it would definitely be June, July, all the way up to the end of the year where you're definitely going to start seeing a shift when it comes to that. For a couple of you, I really feel like this is the month where the full moon's going to probably trigger you or trigger some shifts, a change. The new moon is definitely going to trigger a transformation as well. So pay attention to what is happening in your astrological chart and go ahead and see what is actually going on. If you actually go to my website, bodysoulspirit.co, if you want to get your astrology chart read, I have a good colleague of mine, Lisa. She is one of the practitioners listed on there. You can go ahead and follow the link to her website and schedule a session with her. She is amazing. I've recommended people to her, and she's the one I trust. So if you want to look more into your astrology, reach out to her. And unfortunately, the 50% offer does not apply to anybody else, any of the other practitioners. So, but definitely reach out to her. She's an amazing practitioner. So whatever is happening in your chart during this month, it's really going to cause you to definitely going to cause a shift in your world, especially right here. The 4 of Swords, there is the ending of this hibernation, right? We are stepping into summer. We are stepping into, here in the US, we are stepping into the warmer months. And for a couple of you, I really feel like there was definitely the last 4 years have definitely, I think for everybody, right? But I think for Scorpios, it might have affected you a little bit more. There is that it's been the 4 years of feeling like you've been stuck, feeling like you haven't been able to move forward. And you know, the Devil card right here also really just kind of clarifies that. And for some of you, it could have been with money situation where it's like you have been always having to ask people for money or needing to have support. So it's about rebalancing. There is a rebalance coming into your life during the month of June. However, it is going to entail getting some work done, getting some of your beliefs done or out of the way, moving through asking for what you need. And I think like that's going to be a little bit of a challenge, asking for what you need. It's definitely not something that you are strong about, that you're not wanting to do there. So it's about really checking your ego and say, you know what, I need support, I need help. It's time to be able to move into that space and say, you know what, I need support, I need help, and X, Y, and Z. So there is definitely going to be transformation when it comes to that. Trusting your intuition is definitely going to be another thing that's going to come in during the month of June, because as you start stepping into this new you, your finances are going to finally start coming into play. They're going to start coming into order. I feel like some of you might even get an inheritance or like a bonus. There is definitely some money coming in, whether it be an inheritance or work. And the reason I'm saying that is because I see it with the King of I was going to say coins, the King of Pentacles. So there is definitely something. So for some of you, it might be an inheritance from a family member or a gift from a family member. While for others, it's going to be getting money from a person of authority. So it can be your work, or it could be a bonus type of thing. For some of you, this might be a very limited amount. It might be an opportunity for you to say, hey, you know what? There is a bunch of shit that I own that I don't ever use, and it's time for me to actually let this stuff go. Putting it online, putting it on eBay or wherever. I know there's so many apps where you can sell stuff online. Going ahead and getting that out of the way, releasing. So this is, like I said, this is a month of releasing, of changing patterns. So some of the times, in order for us to shift our patterns and get rid of our energetic baggage, we have to get rid of the tangible stuff. So releasing a lot of that stuff that you're holding on to. It could be that, oh, I have sentimental value, or has this. It's been in the closet for so long. How much value does it really have, right? And I know I've had to go through that a lot of times, where it's just like, hey, people give me stuff or whatever it might be, or I just collect stuff and it's like, oh, I might use it. It's like, no, you gotta let it go. The moment I start to declutter is the moment I start to detox as well. So the month of June is definitely going to be one of those months where you're really going to see your pattern shift. But at the same time, I feel like you're going to finally make space for new things to come in, which is new things, not tangible stuff, but more in terms of new energy. And I'm saying that because I see the 8 of Wands right here. So the 8 of Wands means, you see that eagle right there. I always say the eagle gives us gifts. There's a piece of paper that he's bringing down to us. So it could be that it could be a new job offer, a new opportunity coming through. So there's definitely going to be something coming into this picture. But again, it's energetically, your energy is finally starting to move. You're going to start receiving the wisdom. Especially in our tradition, the eagle is the one animal that flies the highest. So it takes our prayers up to Creator and actually brings them down for us. So again, you're really going to start transforming. And again, going back to the world card, this is where all the elements are finally aligning and saying, hey, we're going to be here to support you as long as you're willing to do the work. Because it is going to take a little bit of work, rebalancing the yin, the yang, the energy in your field is definitely going to be one of the biggest things, the challenges that I feel like you're going to encounter during the month of June. Couples. So when it comes to couples, I feel like there is definitely going to be, I don't know if it's an anniversary, there is something happening when it comes to that. And for a couple of you, I really feel like you're going to rekindle your love. And it's crazy because I got that image with the devil card. So I feel like it could have been that you might have gone through a season where you guys were not getting along and you kind of felt hostage or whatever it might be. The last 4 years might have been crazy, right? Like I said, it's been crazy for everybody. However, it might have hit you a little bit more. So it's about rekindling your love, realigning yourself with each other's. And I really feel like it's stepping back to your true self, saying, hey, this is who I am, and I'm going to be unapologetically myself now. I'm tired of coming in as who you wanted me to be, right? Because a lot of times what happens in relationships is I want you to make me happy, and then you expect the other person expects you to make them happy, and it should not be that way. You should bring your own happiness and then allow each other's happiness to magnify, right? So for a couple of you, it is really about rekindling that love and saying, hey, let's rebalance, let's start back from zero, let's put all this shit on the table. And for a couple of you, I really feel like you're going to have that talk about finances. I feel like those finances, I don't know if you've been putting the talk under the rug, but it's like one of you, I feel like it's spending too much or giving too much money out. Maybe you're always helping family. So there, maybe that's also one of the balance that one of the things that cause a little bit of a shakeup in the relationship. So it's about saying, hey, you know what? Yeah, we can help people out. However, we gotta get our priorities straight because I feel like there is definitely an imbalance, and I'm getting that right here with the high. Is it this the high priestess? Yeah. So it's again rebalancing. It's whatever goes out has to come in. There has to be an equal thing, right? If it's not, the scale is you tip the scale and it's not even. So, and I really feel like for most of the signs, if not all of the signs, the rest of the year is really going to be about recalibrating their finances, recalibrating their relationship with money to release that mentality of scarcity. So for this month, again, it's going to be manifestation. However, sometimes by manifestation means we have to let go of stuff that we don't need. And that might be helping people out, right? We have to be like, hey, you know what? I know you're in a pinch. However, I really feel like this is an opportunity for you to figure this out by yourself. And one of the biggest lessons that I've learned, especially stepping into the role of a teacher and an elder, has been you got to give yourself permission to not be helpful. And I will tell you from experience that fucking sucks because you want to, for me, I want to always give guidance or I want to help people out. And I'm just like, fuck. And one of the biggest things that I received, one of the biggest teachings was the moment you give yourself permission to not be helpful is the moment that you allow that person to go through the experience that they have asked for, that the one that they called. The moment you help that person when you know you need to let them go through that experience is the moment you rob them of that experience that they chose to go through, that they needed to go through for the evolution of their soul. So that was one of the harsh realities that I had to go through. It's like, hey, if you're going to help this person, you are robbing them of that experience that they've asked for, that they created for the evolution of their soul. And the moment I actually saw it in that perspective, I was like, shit, like crap, I didn't think about it that way, right? It's about always being helpful, always wanting to support this person, always wanting to move into that state. For those of you who are single, I feel like there is definitely going to be an earth sign coming through. There is, it can be an earth sign. It could also be someone, even with like a fire sign coming through. And I'm getting that with the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is, it's a wise person. So this could be someone that has quite a bit of money, that they're financially stable, and they're going to come into your life. Again, balance. It's not about letting this person pay for everything. It's about having balance. You can pay for some stuff one date, they can pay for a date, right? It's about saying, hey, this is if we're gonna date, this is gonna be a partnership. It can't just be a one-sided thing when it comes to finances, right? Yeah, it's nice for someone else to pay all the time. However, you have to be willing to give, right? Because if you don't give, you won't receive. So it's about letting the energy flow evenly. But so there's definitely going to be some energy coming in through when it comes to love for those of you who are single. One of the biggest things that just came up in my mind was someone from the past might be coming back. However, whoever this person is from the past, I feel like you might have been in a relationship with them, or you might have thought like, hey, it would be cool to be in a relationship with them. For some of you, I really feel like it's more about friendship. It's more about letting that person go and or letting that the way you see that person as possibly being a partner, a life partner, letting it go and saying, hey, I would rather it's about having you as a friend instead of a life partner, right? So for those of you who are having someone come back from the past, I feel like you got to let go of that expectation of it could lead somewhere. Enjoy the relationship, enjoy the friendship, and then whatever goes, goes, right? So let's get some clarification cards. The Knight of Wands. And that could be that it could be a fire sign that might be a little bit younger than you that is coming in when it comes to someone from the past, right? For a couple of you, it's you really have to be willing to ignite that fire within you and show up unapologetically yourself, because that moment you do is the moment you're going to start stepping into the arena and saying, hey, you know what? This is what I want. This is who I am, and this is what I want. Because for a lot of you, Scorpios, I feel like you do have this young energy where it's a lot of people see it, and some people actually might be intimidated. They might be like, wow, this person just seems like they're so unorganized, and or they don't have their shit together. It's like, hey, some of you might be a little unorganized or a little childish. So it's about, again, letting that stuff go. But most of you, it's you have that child like mentality. So you're like, I don't give a crap. Like, this is me. So stepping into the spotlight, stepping into a leadership role. For some of you, I feel like you're really going to start stepping into the arena, getting seen visual. So you're going to maybe start a podcast. Maybe you're going to start a YouTube channel. Maybe you're going to start somewhere where you're going to start doing presentations. So you're maybe going to step into a leadership role at work. So that is actually, for some of you, how you're going to meet someone who's going to definitely come into your life, where there's going to be a connection. But that doesn't mean go constantly be like, oh, mate, let me go do this, let me go do that, right? And wait for this person to come in, right? But that, again, with the Ten of Cups, I'm seeing like that is really where it's going to lead when it comes to love, because that one came in. That's so you're gonna definitely find someone in while doing your work. And then the Knight of Swords. This is, again, the person coming in from the past, where it's like they're a runner. They like to run. Uh, they don't like to stay stable. There's something wrong with commitment for them. So it's about being able to say, hey, you know what? Shit's gonna move. I don't need this anymore. I gotta move past it. I gotta let this crap go. I'm not here to wait. So for Scorpios, June 2023, stepping into the discomfort is gonna be one of the biggest things that you're gonna have to experience. You're gonna start having to move into it. And I think like a lot of this is going to have to, and it's going to involve really allowing yourself to move into that space of, into that space of letting those fears of being seen move away. Because I get it. You know, even every single time I step into a class or I step into a circle, a ceremony, I am terrified. I, for a lot of people, they're like, "Well, you're so motivated, you're so excited, you don't ever look nervous." I'm like, "Fuck, I am so nervous, right?" If you would see me in a conference or whatever, those are things I hate. I dislike those things. I would rather crawl under a table and, hold myself in fetal position, right, than have to be out in a crowd. So this is definitely you having to come out of your comfort zone and saying, hey, I got to be in the arena. I got to get myself out there. I have to be seen. And definitely there is going to be criticism. There is cheap seat criticism. Those people like Brene Brown, she's like, they're season pass holders. So they are going to know how to judge you. They're going to trigger you. And it's about allowing yourself to say, you know what? It hurts whatever you're saying. However, your opinion doesn't matter, because you're not being brave with your life. So only take the criticism from the people who are willing to get their ass kicked with you. Those are whose opinion actually matters, right? Just not that long ago, I was going through something and I reached out to my friend and my shame buddy, and I was like, and they're like, yeah, it sucks being in the arena, right? It sucks getting your ass kicked, and I've been there, I've fallen, and it hurts. However, you got to get yourself back up. You got to keep moving and understand, why did this trigger you? So going through that rumble, uncomfortable, right? But having that person that I know I can trust their whatever they say to me, and I can say, and they can say, hey, you know what? It sucks when you fall, but you got to get yourself back up and you got to move forward. So knowing that I have that friend, right? It might be that you're going to have to find someone like that you're going to have to say, hey, this person's going to be willing to hold me in integrity, that it's going to hold me to my standards or to what my values, right? So figuring out your values, I really feel like who are you? Who are you going to be, right? A lot of times, one of my values is the thoughts in my head have to match the words that come out of my mouth, right? And being willing to be seen, be willing to be open. And again, it's going to be scary when you step into something where you're going to have the spotlight. And that's the month of June for you, where you're going to have to say, hey, there's a bunch of stories coming into my mind. There's a bunch of shit that I'm making up in my head that people might not like me or whatever. Let that crap go and keep going forward. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, because it's about forward movement for you during the month of June. You're going to notice that you're definitely going to struggle all the way up into August. I think after August, that's really when you're going to finally, how can I put it? That's when you're finally going to step into that space of not letting what people say about you truly hurt. Our ancestor card is connecting with past loved ones. So for a couple of you, I feel like one of the biggest connections that you have are with your loved ones, those who have been here before and have crossed over, and now they're on the in the non-physical. So for a couple of you, it's relatives that are here to support you to move into that state. It might be that you might be following in someone's footsteps, or you like in the field that person in, right? So that's the one person that's really going to start supporting you. That's the one person that's really going to start helping you during the month of June. So try to connect with them, honor them. One of the biggest things that we do is we'll light up a candle for our ancestors. You can, for me, I've always lit I would always light a white candle. That's one of the biggest things that we do. Light a white candle or whatever it may be. The other thing is always have an altar. So we have an altar here at home where we have pictures and everything, right? We'll have candles or the things that they liked or some of the stuff from them. And so that is one of the biggest things that I always encourage people to do when you're being called from spirit to connect with your ancestors is have an altar, right? A lot of times people think it's like, hey, it's only for the Day of the Dead. It's like, no, it's year round. They're always there with you. You're just learning to communicate with them in a whole entire different way. So Scorpio, hopefully that resonated with you. If it did not, if some stuff didn't resonate with you, like I said, leave that crap on the back burner, and it might actually come up, and you might be like, shit, this is what's going to happen. Like, this is actually something he had mentioned. So again, I always say, don't dismiss it, just throw it in the back burner, and it might come up later. For those of you who are interested to work with me one-on-one, link below, and I would be more than happy to answer your questions, help you move through the red road, because sometimes we make our red road narrow and we'll expand it. So it's about letting that shit go when it comes to letting go of our old beliefs, our patterns, and really when we want to true healing, it's about lifting up the veil and saying, hey, it's time to look in the mirror, right? So yeah, it's about answering, my work is about answering your questions, whatever guidance spirit gives me. However, it's also being able to lift up that veil and saying, hey, this is what's got to happen in order for you to get the outcome you actually want. So, Scorpio, it's been a blessing. Hope you have a great time during the month of June, and I can't wait to see how it goes. Take care. Bye-bye.